I mean, they weren't assholes. They were nice men, but they were hardcore.
Hello, cinema enthusiasts. He's the man whose voice makes you feel the West the moment you hear it. With his deep, gravelly tone and legendary mustache, Sam Elliott is a living testament to Hollywood's code of authenticity. He didn't play a role, he breathed a way of life. But this legend has broken his silence. The 81-year-old Elliott has named the top 5 actors he hates most and has never forgiven. This hatred isn't a personal feud, it's a principle. In Elliott's eyes, it was a betrayal of the craft. They disregarded the discipline and authenticity he held sacred. In this video, we are naming the top 5 actors Elliott will never forgive. In his view, these names were fake, showmen, or outright traitors. Let's begin. Number 1. Benedict Cumberbatch, The Attack on the Craft. At the top of our list is the feud that became the most personal and headline-grabbing, Benedict Cumberbatch. When The Power of the Dog stormed the 2021 Oscar race, critics praised its daring, modern approach to the Western. But Sam Elliott did not. Appearing on Mark Maron's WTF podcast, Elliott slammed the brakes. He dismissed the film as a piece of and a distorted version of cowboy life. However, the sharpest arrows were aimed directly at the British actor at the film's center, Cumberbatch. Elliott, his voice thick with disdain, scoffed. What the hell does this Brit know about the American West? He mocked Cumberbatch's prissy posture, his accent, and his overall theatrical mannerisms. For Elliott, this wasn't just performance criticism. It was an attack on authenticity itself. Cumberbatch had committed to the role, learning ranch work and staying in character. But to Elliott, it was nothing more than costume drama, a show without the lived experience. Elliott argued that the West is a lived reality, not a metaphor. Critics accused Elliott of gatekeeping, and director Jane Campion even fired back, calling him sexist during her awards speech. The result, Elliott never walked back a single word. While Cumberbatch chose silence, Elliott stood firm. This was a deeper split than a single role. It was the defense of a life code. In Elliott's book, anyone who doesn't take the Western spirit seriously earns his permanent contempt. Number 2. Kevin Costner, the phony cowboy. Second on our list is the person who earned Sam Elliott's silent and most ironic hatred, Kevin Costner. Though both made their name in Westerns, Elliott never respected Costner's version of the genre. For Elliott, authenticity wasn't decoration, it was survival. He absorbed the grit of ranch life. His slow walk, his deep tone, and the heavy silence that said more than words were all rooted in truth. Costner, however, was Hollywood's polished star. Dances with Wolves won Oscars, and Yellowstone turned him into a TV cowboy for millions. But to Elliott, it was all gloss. The infamous quote Elliott said about Costner cut deep. He plays a rancher like it's dress up. This phrase revealed Elliott believed Costner was cosplaying a life he didn't understand. When Yellowstone exploded in popularity, Elliott refused to join. He even turned down a cameo offer, dismissing the show as a soap opera with a cowboy hat. The result, Elliott believed Hollywood had sold its soul, trading the grit of the West for glamour. Though the two men never shouted, as one producer noted, the silence between them could freeze a desert. Elliott maintained his unbending stance, rejecting the polished fantasy that betrayed the West's soul. Number 3. Ashton Kutcher, the embarrassment of the craft. This name forced Elliott to experience his contempt for the modern state of acting personally. Ashton Kutcher. The two worked together on the Netflix series The Ranch, and the clash was unavoidable. Kutcher was the golden boy of modern Hollywood, a sitcom star, tech investor, and social media phenomenon. Elliott came from the old school, years of unglamorous roles, slow-earned respect, and a reputation built on grit. For Elliott, acting was sacred. It had to be earned through instinct, discipline, and honesty. Kutcher earned fame faster than Elliott earned respect. Although Elliott remained professional on set, his frustration surfaced in quiet murmurs. A crew member recalled hearing Elliott say, "He's a decent guy, but no real actor." Another time, he was even harsher. "He's acting like a guy who learned acting from YouTube." This comment summarized Elliott's near contempt. Kutcher represented a system where algorithms and charm replaced decades of depth and experience. For Elliott, this wasn't jealousy, it was betrayal. Acting should be for truth, not for popularity metrics. The result, Kutcher praised Elliott as a mentor, but Elliott never reciprocated. In his eyes, Kutcher embodied the biggest mistake of 21st century Hollywood, the brand superseding the craft of storytelling. Elliott silently held his ground against this decay. Number 4. Nicolas Cage, the Agent of Chaos. Fourth on the list is the antithesis of Elliott's artistic philosophy, Nicolas Cage. While audiences might see Cage as a daring chameleon, to Elliott, his style was the very opposite of what acting should be. Elliott believed in restraint. Truth lived in a look, a pause, in the heavy weight of silence. Cage, however, built his reputation on manic explosions, unpredictable crescendos, and performances that felt more like theater than reality. When they worked together on Ghost Rider, the clash was obvious. Elliott moved with quiet authority. Cage charged through scenes with unhinged energy. Though Elliott never confronted Cage directly, his off-camera judgment was merciless. He reportedly told a friend that Cage was more firework than flame. Bright, loud, and gone in a second. In Elliott's view, Cage sacrificed discipline for fame. Noise drowned out nuance. While Cage bent every role to fit himself, true craft should disappear into the role. Cage represented a performance where the ego hijacked the story. The result, Elliott didn't just see Cage as a rival. He saw him as a betrayal of the craft itself, the mistake of turning a scene into a personal stage. While Cage built a cult following on chaos, Elliott stood firm for the quiet, enduring fire of restraint. Number 5. Jared Leto, The Method Farce. The final name on our blacklist shows just how far Elliott's contempt for showmanship and self-importance goes. Jared Leto. Although they never shared a set, Elliott's disdain lingered for years. For Elliott, acting was built on silence, truth, and weight. Leto, however, became notorious for his method madness, mailing dead rats to co-stars, staying in character for weeks, and turning every role into a circus headline. For Elliott, this wasn't dedication, it was humiliation. Elliott's simple and harsh comment to a friend captured his disgust. If it takes that much effort for him to act, he may be in the wrong profession. Elliott believed great acting needed quiet discipline, not shock value. Turning the process into a carnival destroyed the seriousness of the craft. Elliott's code dictated that true art moves people, it doesn't just shock them. The result, Elliott allegedly quietly walked away from a film project the moment he learned Leto was cast. This was Elliott's ultimate protest. He wasn't going to let his work be contaminated by someone who prioritized performance art over truth. The hatred Sam Elliott harbors for these 5 actors is more than personal conflict. It's a battle to preserve a code. These legends learned that in Elliott's world, success comes not just from talent, but from honesty, respect for the craft, and the refusal to make noise. Elliott is still the last true cowboy among us. And as long as he stands firm, his blacklist will continue to remind Hollywood that authenticity is not a choice. It's a requirement. So what do you think? Was Elliott's severity justified, or was he too rigid against the new generation of acting? Which name on this list surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because more Hollywood secrets await us.